everybody, Gina Mizell here, Danny Moran here from the Oregonian and OregonLive.com. We are coming at you live after Oregon State practice on Tuesday, a rainy day, an offensive players and coaches availability day, and that made a whole lot of sense given the news that broke yesterday that Daryl Garrettson is out for the season with an ankle injury. Connor Blount also out this week against Washington, so Marcus McMaryion is going to start. And we talked to Marcus, we've talked to coaches, we've talked to teammates. Just what's kind of the general sense you're getting from people about McMaryion getting ready to step back into the starting role?
Well, the thing that he says and other people have consistently said about him is that his preparation has never changed.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the bigger compliments you've heard. I mean, aside from a playing perspective, just the fact that, as you've talked about, the fact that he's gone up and down the depth chart, that he was, in contention for the starting job back in the spring, and then, by the time, we got to the third week against Boise State, he was, third string quarterback.
Right.
Gary Anderson said it yesterday, a couple people said it today, that just they've seen him either in the weight room or just, as far as, looking at the playbook, just that command has kind of stayed pretty consistent. So I think because of that, the team has respect for him and there's some confidence. And he today expressed confidence in his teammates and his playmakers. He said that multiple times that, because he kept being asked, Washington's defense is so good, they've got so much talent. And he said, yeah, we've got talented players too. We've got playmakers too. And so I think that's where they are going forward. What do you think about kind of what you've heard about McMaryion's performance
very similar things. And I think the fact that, and we've said this and written this, that he's not a typical third string quarterback and that he has started the Civil War. He has actually, the last time he kind of got thrust into duty was against Washington last year. So he's faced this defense before, although obviously I think this whole team is even a step above where they were last year, obviously. So it's going to be a challenge. And I mean, Gary Anderson was pretty blunt about this passing attack, saying that it was horrible, or it has been horrible this season. And so that's obviously not all on the quarterback. That's on the receivers and on the offensive coordinator calling the plays and the rest of the coaches. And so I think no matter who's playing quarterback, the question of how does Oregon State solve its passing woes is going to be big, not just this week, but throughout the whole rest of the second half of the season.
Yeah, we talked to Timmy Hernandez, who was the leading receiver, actually, with, I think, 26 yards against Utah. And we said, Coach Anderson says that to you, what do you think? He said he didn't need to say anything. We had one passing yard through three quarters. We know, and we have to be better, and we have to catch more balls. Obviously, don't expect for the wind conditions to be like they were a week ago, which was a challenge. We also talked to Ryan Nall today.
Yes, I was going to say that.
That's the other big, injury news. Last week at this time, when he was coming off the injury against Cal, he said, laid out his plans of, I'm taking the time off and plan to practice on Thursday and kind of see how it feels. This week he was a little bit less committed to any kind of time frame. He kind of said, whether it's this week or next week. So obviously the injury report and depth chart will come out. We're expected to come out later today for Oregon State.
Yes.
He's still in a boot. Says it's just aggravated the injury pain in his foot, and we'll see. So no time frame yet for Nall at this point, but just based on his comments, it sounded like there's maybe a better chance of him not playing than there was last week at this time.
And that's not surprising given that against Washington, a team that you're probably going to lose to on the road, why would you risk it? I mean, that's just me speculating now, but if you're this coaching staff, if he's not 100%, why would you risk him re-injuring it again? Because he comes out for one play against Utah and then we never see him again.
Right, and they've been cautious with him too. I mean, he's talked, it was kind of similar the way it sounded at the end of the Cal game, where he had conversations with doctors on the sidelines about whether to go in or not, and they said no. It sounded like it was the same situation against Utah where, they talked about it and decided it's best to be cautious and, preserve him for later in the year. So that's how they've been acting to this point, if that's any indication of where it might go.
Yeah, also one more note, I talked to Sean Harlow, who not only is starting offensive lineman, but also Daryl Garrettson's roommate, and he said that Garrettson is supposed to have surgery later on this week. But obviously, Sean Harlow's gone through his own season-ending ankle injury. Daryl Garrettson has gone through a season-ending knee injury at Utah State. So said his buddy is doing well. So we have not seen him at practice this week, but it sounds like he is about to kind of take the first big step in his recovery process.
Which is good for him to hear. Obviously, tough news for him to be out, but just to get. Start the process of getting back is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will have plenty of stories coming on OregonLive.com and in the Oregonian every single day leading up to Oregon State's big matchup in Seattle on Saturday. So that is Danny Moran. I am Gina Mizell. Thanks for joining us on Facebook Live, and we will catch you next time.